Bluey's heartwarming stories distract you from a secret. The show is full of bizarre animation errors hiding in plain sight. 1. The flying airport sign. In Curry Quest, the Healer family visits the airport, but something strange happens above the terminal doors. A huge sign is just floating there, hanging in the air like it gave up on gravity. No strings, no poles, nothing holding it up. A few seconds later, it is suddenly back on the wall, like nothing ever happened. Either the airport has hired wizards for maintenance, or someone on the animation team let this one slip. 2. The extra arm mystery. During Pass the Parcel, something very odd shows up in the background. Jasper G's mom is standing there, minding her business, when suddenly she seems to have 2 arms on the same side of her body. It is quick, but once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Was she hiding some secret superhero powers? Or did the animators accidentally turn her into a creature from a science fiction movie? Either way, it looks seriously creepy. 3. The switcheroo faucets. In Smoochy Kiss, Bandit washes his foot in the sink after that very gross bathroom accident. But look closely at the faucet handles. At first, the hot tap is on the left and the cold on the right, like every normal sink. Suddenly, in the next shot, they swap sides completely. No one says a word about it. Either the house has magical plumbing that rearranges itself, or the animators just gave up on basic sink logic that day. 4. The vanishing pebbles. In Cafe, there is a weird little detail most people miss. When Winnie and her dad walk to the park, the path has neat horizontal stripes. The moment they pass through the gate, the stripes vanish completely. But that is not all. Around Bluey's table, 1 lonely pebble sits in front, 3 on the side. Next shot, the front pebble is gone and the right side is covered in pebbles like someone dumped a whole bag off camera. 5. Muffin's floating eye. During Baracus and Bumpy, the kids put on a play and Muffin gets stuck with a chef's hat way too big for her head. As the scene ends, the hat slips, covering one of her eyes while the other stays completely visible above the brim. It looks less like a costume problem and more like she wandered into a horror movie by mistake. 1 second she is a chef, the next she is starring in a haunted kitchen special. 6. The wandering flower pot. In Brownie Bear, a small flower pot quietly steals the scene. At first, it sits on the right side of the cupboard, looking perfectly normal. Then the camera angle changes, and suddenly the same pot is on the left side like it took a quick stroll while no one was looking. Back and forth it goes, switching places between shots as if the cupboard has become a tiny dance floor. Either the pot is alive, or someone forgot continuity exists. 7. The Great Protein Robbery. In TV Shop, the girls play with the security cameras while Bandit shops. On one shelf, we see 5 jars of protein powder lined up neatly, like bodybuilders in training. The security footage even gives us a timestamp. 12 seconds later, the same shelf appears with only 2 jars left. No one is nearby and no one mentions it. Either there is a protein thief moving at lightning speed, or those jars simply walked off the shelf on their own. 8. The psychic balloon. In Mum School, Bluey runs toward a yellow balloon, ready to kick it across the room. But before her foot even gets close, the balloon flies off on its own like it knew what was coming. No wind, no string, no reason at all. It just bolts before being touched. Maybe the balloon reached self-awareness and wanted to escape, or maybe someone in the animation room got ahead of themselves. Either way, it looks completely cursed in slow motion. 9. The disappearing crocodile. In Phones, the kids build a tiny restaurant in a tent, serving pretend food to Grandad. While the camera cuts around the scene, a small green crocodile toy keeps showing up near the entrance. Then suddenly, it is gone. Then back again like nothing happened. It is the only customer who seems to teleport between shots. Either that crocodile has magic tricks nobody told us about, or someone forgot where they put it every few seconds. 10. The leaf shuffle. In Rain, Bluey sprints across the yard with wet leaves stuck to her paws. At first, 2 leaves cling to her left foot and 1 to the right. Then the shot changes and suddenly the 2 leaves have swapped sides. Moments later, every foot has a different number stuck to it, like the leaves are playing musical chairs mid-scene. No rainstorm works this fast. Looks like even the plants in Bluey's world want a little attention sometimes. 11. The Unicorn Bandit. In Pirate, Bandit swings the hammock while the kids pretend it is a pirate ship. During one fast shot, his ears suddenly merge into one right on top of his head. For a moment, Bandit looks less like a dog and more like a confused unicorn wondering what just happened. Then the scene cuts, and both ears are back where they belong, like nothing ever went wrong. It is so quick you need to pause to even catch it. 12. The Vanishing Hand. Sheepdog has one scene that gets dark very fast. Bingo feeds a sheep a handful of grass, but as soon as the sheep eats, her entire hand disappears too. The sheep chomps, the hand is gone, and no one even reacts. Did the sheep eat Bingo's hand along with the grass? Did it grow back off camera? The scene jumps right ahead like nothing happened, but the missing hand lingers in your mind long after the episode ends. 13. The Teleporting Bookshelf. In Bedroom, Bluey is thrilled to have her own room, but one piece of furniture seems to have a secret life. A small bookshelf appears beside her bed in one shot, vanishes in the next, then reappears later, like it has been walking around the house while the camera is off. It is there when she goes to bed, gone during the cleanup, then back again for the final scene. Either magic is real, or continuity is doomed. 14. Bandit learns to hover. In Hotel, Bandit gets out of bed in the morning, but something about the scene feels wrong. Look down at his feet. They never touch the ground. Bandit just glides across the floor like he bought a hoverboard off screen and wanted to test it out. Nobody mentions it. The story moves on as if this floating dad moment is perfectly normal. It is so strange that you start wondering if Bandit knows some secret levitation powers we do not. 15. The Multiplying Tomato. In Favorite Thing, Bingo has 4 tomatoes on her plate. She throws one at Bandit, hitting him right in the head, and the chaos continues. But when the camera cuts back, there are still 4 tomatoes on her plate, like the one she threw just respawned. Did the tomato bounce back onto the plate? Is Bingo hiding a secret tomato stash under the table? Either way, those vegetables seem determined to stay part of the dinner scene forever. 16. The Missing Tail. In Hotel, Bandit spins on the bed like a kid who drank too much sugar. But in one quick shot, his tail is just gone. Completely missing, like someone hit the delete button on his backside. Then the next shot brings it back as if nothing happened. The tail vanishes so fast that you start wondering if Bandit is part lizard and this was his way of escaping danger, by temporarily dropping body parts when things get stressful. 17. The Escaping Fruit. In Tickle Crabs, Bandit climbs onto the counter to escape the kids and throws fruit from a basket to slow them down. But between shots, one piece of fruit just disappears completely. It is there, then it is gone, and nobody explains what happened. Maybe the fruit got scared and ran for its life, or maybe it simply refused to be part of the fight. Either way, the basket ends up lighter without anyone actually touching it. 18. Mackenzie's shape-shifting fur. In the creek, Mackenzie's fur patterns keep changing mid-episode like he cannot decide on one look. At first, his head has the usual black and white stripe. Then, suddenly it is all black, then half white, then back again. The changes happen so fast it feels like watching someone flip through different costume options in a video game. By the time the episode ends, Mackenzie has gone through more styles than most characters get in the entire series. 19. Bandit's color crisis. During Takeaway, Bandit runs around in chaos, but his fur decides to join the madness. At one moment, his belly is the usual yellowish color we always see. Then he turns, and the whole thing is suddenly blue, matching the rest of his body. Seconds later, the yellow comes back like nothing ever changed. The scene moves on as if his fur was not having an identity crisis mid-episode. It is quick, strange, and kind of hilarious to catch. 20. The Shifting Shelves. In Ragdoll, the background shelf cannot seem to make up its mind. First, there is one shelf holding a few items. Then the shot changes, and suddenly there are 2 shelves stacked there instead. Next scene, it is back to one again like the second shelf packed up and left. The number keeps changing throughout the sequence, making it look like the furniture itself is stuck in some weird time loop while everyone else continues the story normally. So that wraps up the craziest BLUEY errors we caught. But here's the real question. Are these accidents? Or is someone on the team secretly trolling us? Tell us what you think in the comments and stick around for the next deep dive.